Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Florian, good to see you. Today we're back with our second part of our Fujifilm X-S10 series. If you haven't seen the first part where I've been talking about things I didn't like so much of Fujifilm X-S10, I'm gonna link it up here. So dive over, have a look, come back, watch this video. So for everyone who subscribed, every single new face, guys, I'm Florian, you're more than welcome. Great to see you, have you here on the channel. For everyone who tuned in again, is watching my content, guys, welcome back. First thing I like about the Fujifilm X-S10 is definitely the size and the weight of it. The camera body, including a battery and a SD card, comes in around 470-480 grams. So basically they produce the camera body just under 500 grams, which is definitely an advantage. Right now, if you're out all day long and you're carrying your gear around, you have your camera in a hand and you're running around, you're vlogging, you're doing video or photography, you don't feel the weight really, which is definitely a benefit. If you have a light, compact body, you can carry around all day long without getting a heavy arm, or you're feeling a weight and you're getting tired and you think, oh, I want to go home, rather than creating. So having a lightweight compact body definitely benefits your creativity, because you can go out longer shooting without worry about or feeling any weight in your hand, which makes life a bit easier, guys. The second thing what I do appreciate what they have done, they use the same 26.1 megapixel CMOS 4 sensor from their X-T4, from their flagship camera body, and put it into the X-S10. This means you get the same quality, same high quality like from their flagship model. Rather paying £2,000 for their X-T4 right now as an example, you're paying £950 for the body only, and you still get the same quality, the same sensor out of £950 or out of the X-S10, which is absolutely fantastic. So there's no compromise on quality or image quality, on sensor quality. Definitely a big thumb up. Slow motion is definitely another thing I really like. They increased the slow motion frame rate from 120 frames per second up to 240 frames per second in full HD. Shooting 120 frames per second full HD on an X-T3 is definitely nice, and I did appreciate 120 frames per second. Having the option to bump the slow motion up to 240 frames per second is fantastic. And I definitely need to try this a bit more out, shooting slow motion in 240 frames per second. Usually I shoot my slow motion around 120 frames per second, or sometimes 60 frames per second, and just slow it down 50% in post. However, having the capability or possibility to bump it up to 240 frames per second is definitely great. Another great feature what they did is they excluded the mic connection point from your HDMI connection point and your charging or USB charging point. So this means basically you don't have any open doors hanging around anymore. You got your mic connection point on top and your HDMI, USB, everything underneath, and the door is shut. So you don't need to worry that you might hit accidentally your door, you break your door off. Your mic and your HDMI, your USB connection points are all separate now, which is definitely great. You don't need to fuss about with the door. You leave the door shut, you plug your mic in, and you're ready to go. Because the Fujifilm X-S10 is meant to be the entrance level mid-range camera, I think having all dials on your fingertips, such as like your shutter speed, your ISO, your aperture, etc., is definitely great. So for someone who doesn't have any big idea from cameras, or let's say someone is a bit overwhelmed by Fujifilm's old school approach to camera bodies with all dials, having everything on the tips of your fingers is definitely great and it is easy to use. This might be a big advantage for all photography lovers right now. Having the capability of shooting raw images within auto mode is something new to Fujifilm. So basically you set up your camera completely in auto mode, you hand over your camera to someone and this person takes a picture. At the end of the day you still got a raw file as well, which gives you the flexibility to process in post. You still got your dynamic range, you got your shadows, you got your highlights, you got the full quality image of a raw image while shooting auto mode, which is absolutely fantastic. Sometimes you just want to take a quick snap, moving from filming over to photography. You switch your camera into photography or in auto mode and you just take a snap, you come home, you put your images on a computer and you still got a full raw file, which is absolutely great. Talking about image quality, auto mode, raw files. Personally speaking, shooting JPEGs in auto mode with the Fujifilm X-S10, I think, and this is my personal opinion, what I have seen over the last couple of weeks since I used the Fujifilm X-S10, that the JPEG quality has massively improved compared to older models, to older softwares within Fujifilm cameras. I think that the JPEGs are way more balanced in the meantime. The shadows and the highlights are working better together. So overall, the JPEG quality you get out of a X-S10 has dramatically improved. You get a better overall balanced picture, in my opinion. Probably the last point would be the price point. £950 for the Fujifilm X-S10, body only. With the lens is £999 if I'm right, with the cheapest standard kit lens. For the price, what you get a lot, guys. And personally speaking, I'm actually quite happy about this camera. It's meant to be more for filming and vlogging for myself rather than for photography. I still got my X-T3 for still images and I'm gonna use the X-S10 for photography and vlogging. I think what Fujifilm created is definitely a very good camera and you get a lot for your money into it. You almost get like a baby X-T4, you get the same sensor, almost the same frame rates. So guys, I can't say much bad about this camera at all, and trying it out over the last couple of weeks, there was no big bugs where I said I didn't like it, and you have seen my first part of 6 things I hate about the Fujifilm X-S10. It's probably just nitpicking because I'm used to the X-T3 with all the dials, and now shooting with the Fujifilm X-S10 as well, having 2 camera bodies, 2 different type of systems or layouts. It's just a course of getting used to it. So the conclusion really much is, guys, I think it's a great camera, you get a lot for your money, and for someone who is a Fujifilm shooter, who's looking maybe for a second body, it's definitely worth looking into it. That's pretty much it, guys, and that was my 2-part series about Fujifilm X-S10. 6 things I hate and 6 things I like about it. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see more content like this, or what you thought about this 2-part series at all or in general. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, guys, and I don't want to say too much this year because last year we know all what happened, as we was staying New Year's Eve somewhere and lit off fireworks, and then we was hoping for a good new year. This year we're just gonna be quiet, we just walk into the new year, and then I'm gonna see you very soon. However, guys, I still wish you a happy new year, and I'm gonna see you next year. Thanks, guys.